Because I love languages in general.
I like that it was always something different.
We were such a small class and it just felt like family.
We're not only doing grammar and stuff, but we also look at, for example, American or English or also Australian culture.
I loved our trip to England. That was really fun. Also, we just had a great time with the whole group.
It's also for people who like to be very creative because we did so many different things. If you like to be creative, English would be a good choice. So you're thinking about choosing English as a Schwerpunktfach at Gymnasium? Great choice. I made it too.
So did I, and did he.
That's right. So let us tell you a bit more about it.
To help you decide if it's really a good choice. So let's go! First of all, I chose it because I love languages in general, and I knew that I would not choose something like mathematics or science. So for me it was already obvious that I would choose a language.
I chose Schwerpunktfach English because it's a global language, and I somehow had the feeling that I might change my study plans in gymnasium, and that's what happened, and I'm really glad to have English because you can do everything with it.
I chose English as a Schwerpunktfach because I think English is a very important language in those modern times, and I always like to watch movies or play video games in English, and so I got a bit of fascination for the English language, and with starting reading English books it just got bigger.
Then I also wanted to have Italian because I thought that that was an interesting language too. And with English as a Schwerpunktfach, I could choose Italian as a third language without having more lessons than others, which I think is great. So yeah, that's why I chose English as a Schwerpunktfach.
I like that we did a lot of different stuff. So we, for example, wrote short stories, we read books, and of course we also looked at grammar, but I like that it was always something different, and that we were just like, it was always fun to be in class, and we learned a lot of stuff that is helpful in everyday life, just about culture and stuff, so that was really great.
I really liked writing the magazines. We did 3 in total, but also writing short stories or writing poems.
We were such a small class and it just felt like family. It was chill to be with, so not that many people, and it was easier to learn stuff.
I love the book The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas we read in class. I really enjoyed it because it is a very modern and current book, and also the language was very understandable, and it also, the book addresses very important topics like racism or cultural appropriation, which I think is very great and important.
I generally enjoyed 2 books, so The Hate You Give and Asking for It. Not because of what happened in the books, because they were quite violent and graphic, but because they talked about 2 very important topics, such as racism, but also rape, and I really like that in English class. We get to read books that talk about very current topics, and I think that's really important. So
I loved our trip to England. That was really fun, and it was really interesting to see England, and also we just had a great time with the whole group. And I also liked that we wrote short stories, so that was an interesting outlet to be creative and to really actively work on your writing skills, and that was also great. And just all the creative stuff we did in general was really good.
It's not hard to have Italian and English at the same time, but I think it's actually quite nice to learn a 4th language additionally to the other 3 that you would have if you don't take Italian as a 3rd language.
At first I thought it could be difficult that we had both, but it turned out that it was not really, because first of all everyone started at 0 here, so even if you hadn't learned Italian before, you could still just start at the beginning.
For me, with the 4 languages, it's honestly between Italian and French to just differentiate between the two. But I generally like languages a lot, so I didn't really have, I didn't really have that many difficulties with all the 4 languages.
So of course people who love languages will enjoy this Schwerpunktfach, but I think also people who want to improve their English will enjoy it. And yeah, people who are interested in culture and traditions also, because in Schwerpunktfach we're not only doing grammar and stuff, but we also look at, for example, American or English or also Australian culture, which I think is very interesting.
Well, generally people who like English and like languages, but I think it's also for people who like to be very creative, because we did so many different things. If you like to be creative, English would be a good choice.
I really hope this has helped with your decision.
We totally think that you would be a good match.
So think about it.
We won't be here when you start school here.
So you can take our place.
We are sure you are cool,
Amazing.
Smart.
And funny enough. So again, think about it!